Stage is yours.
Thank you. Guys, so first of all, my name is Lee Freeman. Thank you for Mark for having me today, and thank you to you guys for valuing yourself high enough to be here today. We're going to talk about overcoming fear and also overcoming procrastination. And one thing that's really strange is that when we'll see people talk like this, and when we do new things, this is completely something that's just come up this morning that I've not planned. The first time I did a talk like this, this was literally what I was like. Okay, I was sweating, I couldn't get my words out, nerves were all over the shop. And what we're going to go through, and one thing that we'll learn about fear, is that the only way we improve in fear is by going through it. So what I couldn't understand when that happened, my other career is also as a music producer and as a DJ. And I played to crowds of over 3,000 people, warmed up for the biggest artists in the world, without ever thinking about it, without even having any form of mindset of going on stage and thinking, shit, what if I mess my mix up? What if it goes wrong? What if the crowds don't like me? What if they hate my music? And all these thoughts. And yet, because you've done it so many times, it then becomes natural. But then as soon as we step one thing that's minutely out of our comfort zone, so, not even 1/100th of those amount of people in a room, all of a sudden, because it's different, it's more difficult. So my explicit intention today is to inspire you, to motivate you, but most of all, lead you towards taking action towards what it is you truly want. So the first thing we're going to do, and I want you guys to write this down because I'm going to come back to it at the end, okay? So what needs to have happened in the next 90 days, physically, mentally, spiritually, financially, in order for you to have deemed it the best 90 days of your life? So where do you need to have travelled? How much money do you need to have made? How many days off do you need to have had with your kids? It's not all just about business and money and income and Ferraris. Yes, they are cool as fuck, but we also need to have experiences and memories and make magic memories. So how many days off are we going to have? How much money are we going to make? How many times are we going to go to the gym? How many times are we going to track our food? How many times are we going to call a loved one and tell them that we love them? How many appreciation messages are we going to send, okay? So write down now and get really deep on some things that you want to achieve, okay? And don't bullshit yourself either. If you want to make £1 million in the next 90 days, write down that you want to make £1 million. Because we need to start bypassing the bullshit, because so often we get stuck in the how-to, okay? So people say, I want a villa in Ibiza. I want a villa in Ibiza. I want 2 Ferraris, okay? I want a villa in Marbella. I want a 6-bedroom house in England. I want that much money that I don't even know what to do with it, so that my son never has to pay for anything. But when we think these goals, we go, I don't know how to do that. So we get stuck in the how-to. You don't need to know how to. All you need is the desire to want it, okay? Because the how-tos we can get help with, okay? We can find people who are going to lead us onto that journey. And we can break the goals down. So again, if we break a 3-year goal, £1 million. 1-year goal, that's only 333 grand. Let's bring it back to 6 months. It's 150 grand. Let's bring it back to 3 months. 75 grand. Bring it right back. What do you need to do today? Today, not tomorrow, today, to move towards that goal, okay? So what holds most people back is fear and procrastination, okay? Now, put your hand up if you want to be fearless. 100% fearless in life, okay? So the reality is, you all just put your hand up for something that's impossible, okay? Because fear cannot exist without courage. Love cannot exist without hate, which is why the people you love the most, you fucking hate them sometimes as well.
Let's not do that.
Anyone who's married knows exactly what I'm talking about, okay? But again, happy cannot exist without sad. So you can't be mega happy without experiencing depressed emotions at some point in your life, okay? But what we need to understand is that most fear isn't real, okay? It's just bad mind management. It's confusion. And we confuse fear with discomfort, because fear is Mark about to punch you in the face as hard as he can. We've had a few scraps in our times and it's not pretty, okay? Fear is a lorry hurtling towards your car at 90 miles an hour. Fear is serious physical injury. That's fear. Discomfort is completely different, but we get them confused, okay? So rather than focusing on being fearless, we're going to focus on being courageous, okay? The same as rather than focusing on being sad, we can focus on being unhappy, okay? Rather than focused on hating, most people do, if you flick down your social media news feed, let's focus on loving, okay? So, I'm not going to bother with the slides, by the way. It's fear that stops us from taking action, okay? And that's a decision that we can all make every single day. And it's quite an overused phrase, ABC, action brings change, okay? And change will never happen without action. So many people are trying to do the same thing or trying to get a new result by doing the same thing. Trying to make the same money by staying in the same job, okay? Trying to build the same muscle by doing the same reps and the same exercises. Trying to lose weight by eating the same diet. Trying to do the same thing and expecting a different result. It's fucking insanity. It's ridiculous, okay? So where I've changed ABC from action brings change is to action builds courage, okay? The more action we take, the more courage we will build. So, how does fear show up in our lives? And everybody experiences fear. If you don't, and you think you don't, you're a liar, okay? So procrastination, who procrastinates? Okay, so generally what procrastination means is there's this thing we need to do that's very, very important, that's going to move our life forward, that's going to make us happier, that's going to lead to change. But essentially it's probably going to be a little bit uncomfortable. Going to the gym, picking up the phone and actually doing the sales call without fear of rejection. Placing the trade maybe for you guys without worrying about the outcome, okay? But we will always end up going towards the easy option, taking the path of least resistance, okay? This is why so many people get scammed by six-figure fucking mentors. Jesus Christ, they're all over the internet, aren't they? Working from their bedrooms, all they do is Facebook ads, they're fucking shit at them as well. And yet they're telling the world, you can sign up to my 90-day plan, Manisha, you'll be six figures within 3 days. Can I have the last 4 digits of your card, please? Okay, it's all over. Because people are looking for an easy option. It's how Juice Plus, Herbalife, all the shitty MLM fat loss plans that many of you may have tried, Slimming World, Weight Watchers, Fat Camp, all the other crap that's not run by qualified nutritionists work. They prey on naive people who are looking for an easy way to lose weight. Wake the fuck up, there isn't one, okay? You're gonna have to go through some discomfort. But here's the thing, if you're massively overweight or you skin, you're already uncomfortable. You're already in a position of discomfort. So you can go through the discomfort of picking up the phone and making the sales call to get out of debt and live the life you want, or you can stay stuck with the discomfort of not having the balls to do it. You can stay in the discomfort of an unhappy relationship because you don't have the courage to leave it and stay unhappy forever, or you can go through the discomfort of saying, hey, guess what? This isn't working for me anymore. We can go through the discomfort of getting up a little bit earlier and going to the gym and starting to live longer, feel happier, lose weight, have more energy, more clarity, more focus. Go through that discomfort, or you can carry on with the discomfort of being a fat fuck who can't walk up the stairs without getting out of breath. It's that simple. They're both uncomfortable. One leads to pleasure, one will keep you in pain, and it's procrastination that keeps us there, okay? Number 2 is overwhelm. I put a post on about overwhelm on Facebook the other day, and it, how should we class this? Triggered the living hell out of a young lady, okay? I basically said, I've got a 4-year-old child, 217 clients, 3 businesses, and I'm not remotely overwhelmed, okay? She came back and had a massive rant about, how do you think the NHS would feel about that? How do you think this person would feel about that? And essentially, it's exactly the same, okay? Overwhelm is a myth. It doesn't exist, just like imposter syndrome, self-sabotage, all these other made-up phrases. Oh, why do you keep taking drugs at the weekend? Oh, just self-sabotage. No, mate, you made a decision to do it, okay? Doesn't exist, just like overwhelm. Overwhelm is an inability to prioritize your day in order of priority and go about each task one at a time until it's done, okay? Exactly what a woman in the NHS who has 1,000 COVID patients had to do, which funnily enough was the daggers that this lady was throwing back at me. How do you think the NHS feel about overwhelm? Well, they need to do the same. They need to treat the most important patient first and then move on to the next one. They can't do them all at once, okay? So, too busy. Who often uses too busy as an excuse for not getting stuff done. Who often rants to their partner about how busy they are, okay? I want all of you to get your phones out now. I want you to go to the settings. And we're just going to have a little look
Can I exclude myself?
at what our average screen time was for the last 7 days.
I had to find that because I
Yeah, I was
didn't
just
do
about to
it.
say, where'd you find that?
Daily out 5 hours. Daily.
I don't, I'm really on my phone, so mine would probably be
Oh,
very
mine,
low.
yeah.
Daily is 5
That's
hours.
a chance.
Because nobody looks at market.
Okay, so we've got 5 hours
Where
so
does
far.
it- Oh, screen time. Over how long?
For the last 7 days, average.
Screen time. Oh, mine was turned off.
Where do you find it? Where'd you go first?
Mine's the day's work.
Where'd you go?
So we've got anywhere
Settings,
between, let's call it 8 to 11 hours.
8 hours.
Mine's
57.
0
Screen time,
minutes
screen time.
daily average.
You're
Oh,
my
wow.
hero, that's why you're smashing it.
Thank you.
8 hours 37 minutes.
8 hours 36 minutes. Okay, now we'll take a little bit out because a lot of us run businesses that are on our
Yes,
phones,
on
right, doing social media and stuff.
Yeah.
But essentially, that's a lot of time spectating other people's lives, okay? That's a lot of time feeding your brain with fear. That's a lot of time watching other people's highlights and thinking, Jesus, he's doing better than me. What am I doing wrong? Okay? So very often, fear shows up as overwhelm. We're too busy, okay? But we have no plan. We have no mission. We have no priorities. And we have no destination. And where so many people are stuck, this is literally, obviously I deal with a lot of guys who are struggling with their mental health and drinking problems and drug problems or are excessively overweight, okay? And when you ask most of them the question, how do you want your life to look? Okay, but that's where most people are at. And this is the best phrase I've ever heard. Is people, it's like calling a taxi, and when the taxi turns up saying, hey mate, where do you want to go? And you say, I don't know, not here. That's why people are stuck, right? They don't even know what they want. They haven't even done that 90 goals. They don't know how much money they want. They don't know how much freedom they want. They don't know how they want their body to look. And they don't have a plan to achieve what it is they say they want. Okay, and the second story with, if we don't also have this plan to check back on every day, you know, we say we want this villa, we say we want this car, we say we want this life, and we write it down, and then who's ever experienced this? Like my clients experience this on a regular basis, right? It can happen within 4 to 6 hours. So every Monday morning at 7:30 a.m. on the dot, relentlessly, even if I'm on tour in Ibiza, I get up and I do a motivational talk like this on a different subject every Monday at 7:30 a.m. Some of them leave it and they're like, I'm on fire. They're literally going to run through walls. And then I'll have a message at 2 o'clock in the afternoon. Oh, I've lost my motivation. Literally, and you guys will experience that in business, right? You're motivated for something and then it's gone in 7 days or 14 days, 21 days, a month. Happens in fat loss so much, okay? And this is similar to the car story. It's like putting the destination or the goal or what we want in the sat nav, and then we get in the car and we set off and we never look at it again. We never go back to the sat nav. You just wouldn't do it. You're checking back, aren't you, every 2 minutes? Where am I going? Oh yeah, where am I going? Shit, I'm in Birmingham. I've got no idea where I am and I can't find New Street and I've been around this roundabout 30 times, but we have to keep checking back on it, okay? So again, you know, this is why having a strategic day plan and knowing where you're spending your time is so important, because most people are just making up being busy. Okay, they're not, they're on autopilot. They get up, they go, oh my God, I've got so much to do. Right, what do I need to do first? I'm off. And then comes overwhelm. Then comes procrastination, okay? Because you're not following a roadmap, or you created the destination, you wrote the roadmap, and then you decided to never check back on it again, okay? Third one is worry, anxiety, and overthinking. I mean, imagine you guys experience this a lot in business. And 14 burpees for being late. And you know, this is generally, so I talk about this a lot, because this is a full new presentation, so I'm just going to touch on it, but worry, anxiety, and overthinking. So generally, this is if things are in the past that stop us making decisions. So I did this and the outcome last time was this, so I'm worried about making that decision, okay? I asked one girl out and she said no. So I'm never going to ask another girl out again because I don't want to experience that rejection again, okay? Mark used to work on a different philosophy. He asked 100 out on the basis that one of them would eventually say yes. And that's just on one Saturday night, okay? So again, worry, anxiety, and overthinking is generally if it's too much in the past or it's too future-based. And one of the greatest things I've ever heard from Tyson Fury, he said, you know, I'm bipolar, by the way. He's bipolar too. He's been through anxiety, depression, PTSD. We've all both had all the ticks from the doctors, load of bullshit. But he said, I used to worry so much. I used to worry about everything. He says, all I do now is I just worry about being happy today. That's it. No further forward, no further backwards. I don't worry about what I did yesterday. I don't worry about what's going to happen tomorrow. I just worry about being happy today. And even if I go to bed sad, well, tomorrow's a new day and I get another opportunity to come back, okay? But that's not promised, so let's make sure we take those opportunities, guys, every day. Okay, the fourth one is seeking permission and validation from others, okay? This is one of the biggest causes of fear and procrastination, okay? One of the best examples I can use is people in their 20s and 30s that I coach on their businesses. They say, oh yeah, the thing is, Lee, I really, really want to start my own business, but I asked my dad about it and he thinks it's a really bad idea. What does your dad do? He's a postman. Okay? Why would we ask someone who's never done or been what we want to be? It's like me going to someone who's 4 stone overweight and saying, brother, can you help me get in shape? Oh, no, I don't think it's a good idea getting in shape, mate. Do you want to go back to the pub? Do you know what I mean? We seek validation from others. We seek permission. You know, you don't need to. Sometimes you do, obviously, with financial decisions, but you know, to a level you don't even need to ask your partner. You just need to know what you want and to be able to take the action towards it. But we spend all this time, like if everyone agrees with me and I can tick every box and everyone else thinks it's a good idea, then eventually I'll take action, okay? But this is what we need to work on. Stop seeking validation, stop trying to fit in, stop looking for permission for what it is you want to do and how you want to be, and just do you, okay? So, we're going to discuss how we can overcome it now, because I want this to be practical, okay? I want you guys to take some things away that you can put into action. I'll tell you a funny story about this one that someone actually pulled me up on last night. Let's go through a few slides, see where we're at. Okay, so 3 types of discomfort. Let's get this clear. It's not fear. Fear is death or serious injury. Okay? It's not real. We're confusing it with discomfort. And this stops us going through the discomfort of doing the work to get what it is we say we want. So there's 3 types of discomfort, okay? It's the pain of loss. What if I invest and it doesn't come off? What if I get started and I don't do the work? What if I start trading and I don't understand it? What if I join the gym and never even go? Okay? So are we going to lose money? Are we going to lose time? Are we going to lose respect? Okay? Am I going to lose the comfort of booze and takeaways if I start taking my health seriously? Am I going to lose my friends? I'll tell you this right now, any friend who tries to hold you back from making a positive decision about your future, not just for you, but for your loved ones, isn't a fucking friend. Stop spending time with them. You will never get rid of them. I hear this all the time. How do I get rid of toxic people? How do I get negative people out of my life? You can't, okay? You can't. They will always exist. So will negative thoughts in your head. Ladies, you'll love this. Guys have 2,500 thoughts per day. Women have 4,000. Okay? We cannot expect all of them to be positive. Okay? Like we can't expect everyone in life to be positive. But we can spend time around positive, courageous, fearless, driven, inspirational people who want to see us win and want to pull us up to the next level. It's like Mark will want to see all you guys win, and Nolan. But we don't have to get rid of the negative people. We just need to spend less time with them, okay? Again, what if I fail? Will I lose respect? Will I get mocked? Will I get judged? Who cares, okay? The way we flip this now is, so we have these things, and again, a good example of this. So I had a nightclub before I got into this, okay? And when I finally made that decision to leave, after probably 2 years of procrastination, 2 years of being unhappy, 2 years of fights, police issues, drugs issues, being up until 6, 7 o'clock in the morning, when I finally made that decision, everything in life changed. But the reason I didn't make it for so long was because all I focused on was what I had to lose. I had a company car, I had a laptop, I had security, I had a big salary, I had bonuses, but I fucking hated my life. On doors until 6 o'clock in the morning, witnessing horrible things. I remember witnessing a girl putting a stiletto through a guy's eye, being with the police until 8, 9 o'clock in the morning, and then still having to go up the next day and get the CCTV for the police, and just locked in this life that I didn't love. And it wasn't until I started on personal development that I was like, well, actually, if I just go full time into mental health coaching and training and doing all the things that I've started, well, what do I have to gain? Well, I can fucking treble my salary for one, because I choose how I work. I can make my own hours. I can own my own phone, okay? I can work when I want. I can scale this business to whatever I want, okay? But you get locked in a zone where we don't do X because we're worried about what we're gonna lose, okay? Flip your head to, well, if I do Y, what can I gain? You know, we either have, like I said, we either have the discomfort of going to the gym, working on your personal development, working on your business, working on your life, and you get everything you've ever dreamed of, more clarity, more money, more freedom, more happiness, more time, more memories, or we just stay in the discomfort we're in because we're focused on, what if I lose my friends? What if I lose the comfort of the chippy tea? What if I lose my steady job? What if I lose my steady income? See now how it all of a sudden doesn't sound so appealing, okay? So number 2 is the pain of the process. Now, what most people do is they seek pleasure to avoid pain, okay? This is why people go to the pub. This is why people procrastinate. This is why people watch Love Island. This is why people stay in toxic relationships, because they'd rather be unhappy than lonely. Hands up if you've ever done that. Who stayed in a relationship way longer than they should have done because they avoided the difficult conversation? They didn't want the confrontation. They didn't want to hurt the other person. Okay, again, fear, procrastination, avoiding discomfort. Staying in a dead-end job to avoid the pain, or staying silent in any circumstances to avoid the conversations. And essentially the reason why we avoid it is because it's tough, okay? It's back to discomfort, isn't it? Making sales calls can be tough. Going to the gym can be tough. Learning about trading can be tough. Being fucking honest with your partner can be tough. Stopping telling lies can be tough, okay? But we have to understand there will be no pleasure without pain. We can't get to this place of where we want to be without going through a little bit of shit, okay? But this is what people keep looking for. How do I get to where I want to be with no obstacles, no hardships, no setbacks, no rejected sales calls, no unhappiness, no discomfort, okay? So we need to think about what will have to happen in order for us to change. Pain of the outcome. This is one that people always forget about, okay? So very often, the yes question, or the yes answer, should I say, can hold us back also. What if I ask that girl out? What if she actually says yes? What am I going to do then? Jesus, am I going to be able to take her out? Will I be able to handle it? What if I make £1 million? Will I be able to handle being a millionaire? Or will I just get lazy again? Will I go back to my old habits? Will I stop working? Will I start taking drugs again? Okay? What if I go to the gym and I get the body once I've got it? Will I be able to keep it? Can I keep this up? Can I keep this work rate up? Can I keep going? So again, the pain of the outcome can also hold us back. So I've actually put something about this on Facebook actually, and some clever lady, you know, one of them that comments on everything. You've missed one out, pain of failure. You don't fail, guys. There isn't a pain of failure. And the reason why is because whatever happens, you learn. Whatever happens, there's a lesson. Whatever happens, there's a gift, okay? If you are willing to look for it. The most brutal story I've ever told, which helps me explain this, okay? You guys won't know. My mum died when I was 6 months old, and my dad made the great decision to leave at that point, okay? 38 years of anger, resentment, frustration, punching people, taking drugs, drinking, blaming everything. Every time I made a bad decision about my life, it was because my mum died and my dad left. I was a liar, okay? I made those decisions because I chose to. And the thing that helped me turn this was Paul Moore, who's my mentor, turned around to me and said, why don't you just forgive him? I says, what are you on about? Can I forgive that? And he said, forgiving someone doesn't mean you condone their behavior. It just means you're not willing to give any energy to it anymore. And when we can look, that's a pretty brutal situation, right? So then we can look for the lesson and the gift. I've impacted and saved thousands of lives. I've probably saved 30, 40 people from suicide, okay? I wouldn't be doing what I was doing now if I hadn't have gone through that pain, okay? I wouldn't be the father I am to my son if my dad hadn't showed me how not to be. So there was a lesson, there was a gift. And when you can start to be grateful for all obstacles in advance and accept the lesson and the gift in any situation, all of a sudden, these pains will disappear, okay? And we can change them with 3 questions. What did I learn? What was the lesson? What was the gift? Anything you failed at wasn't a failure. You learned. Did you become stronger because you tried? And just like I spoke about when Shakin' Stevens did his first live presentation, will it be easier next time I do it? That's why Mark got so confident at asking girls out, because he did it 100 times every Saturday night. Each time he did it, it got easier. I'm joking. So guys, quick one. What's been your biggest take home so far? And how long have I got, guys? What have you written down? What's your biggest take home? What's hit home? What did you connect with? Or are you all super shy and you're afraid to speak up and I'll just crack on?
No. Come on.
Okay, we'll crack on. We'll crack on. So the only way to overcome fear is to go through it, okay? My two biggest fears are being judged and hurting people. Okay, I experienced a lot of hurt in my life, and as a result, I don't like hurting other people, and it holds me back from making decisions. Staying in relationships too long, not having awkward conversations, you know, being the yes man.
That's me.
Or being judged. So again, the same situation. So I'm in a very elite business mentorship with 15 guys who are all much bigger fish than me. Shows I'm in the right room. If you're the most intelligent, richest person in the room, I suggest you get a new room. But again, I can talk like this in front of you guys now, okay? And I've got over 1,000 videos on YouTube and Instagram and Facebook. Follow me on all of them. Straight up pitch. But I said to my coach, why is it that I can do those live videos every morning? No notes, 100% confidence, don't even think about it. Yet every time when the 15 businessmen are in the group, every time I try to think of something or I think I can add something of value, I can't get it out. Don't speak. Just sit there in silence like a little girl, shaking, feeling anxious, okay? Fear of being judged. I asked him, I said, why is it, Paul? Why is it that happens? He went, you're just afraid of being judged. That's all it is. But the biggest thing is, again, it's just like fear. It's not real. Those guys all love me and they want to support me. Yet my imagination is thinking about their imagination and how they might respond to the thing that I'm going to say. And again, this is something that stops us doing things, right? Who's experienced that? I'll tell you another example, okay? So my partner and I have just separated, and that has meant that one of our rental houses, I've had to get rid of the tenant, okay? So I can get a different mortgage. Anyway, that's all by the by. So 6 weeks I put off calling him. 6 weeks thinking, oh my God, he's got dogs. Where's he gonna live? It's gonna ruin his life. He's gonna trash my house. He might end up squatting. He's not gonna pay his next 3 months rent. He's gonna be homeless. I'm gonna ruin his life. Finally picked up the phone after 6 weeks. He went, no problem at all, mate. You always expect this as a tenant. Is everything all right with you? I'm actually quite worried about you. That's a really difficult situation. Yet 6 weeks, stress, anxiety, overwhelm, procrastination, just from doing something that was a 2-minute phone call, and the response was actually positive. I've gone through this with a guy who's one of our clients. Oh, I'm undervalued at work. I do more than everyone else. Have you told your boss? No. Okay, I'm so much more valuable than what I'm getting paid. Have you told your boss? No. Bullied him into going to tell his boss, 25 grand pay rise on the day. Okay, again, his imagination, thinking about his boss's imagination, stopping him taking action. My imagination, thinking about the tenant's imagination, and it didn't exist, okay? So, a word about, who struggles with motivation sometimes? Okay, here's where I really flex my guns a little bit. Okay, last year I ran 10 marathons in 30 days in a 16 kilogram weighted vest with a completely fractured nose that was stuck together by bone. Contrary to popular belief, it wasn't to previous cocaine abuse. And all I kept saying after I'd completed the marathons was, how did I do it? How did I do it? The final marathon when all the press were there, 4 hours, 22 minutes in a 16 kilogram weighted vest with some of the team behind me. I did it because in February of that year, this little boy's dad committed suicide. That's his mum, that's his sister. His sister at the time was my sales and marketing director, okay? And I had to keep going through peaks there as well, Mark.
Oh, good.
I had to keep going through this conversation in my head. How did I do it? Like 1 month later, when I finally recovered, I'm like, Jesus, I can't even run around the block without getting out of breath anymore. So I kind of researched into it, and it's because there's two types of goals, okay? Egocentric and ethrocentric. So an egocentric goal is when it's all about you, okay? I could not have run those marathons for me, for social attention, for likes, for sales, or anything, okay? But this is very often why we go wrong. We make our goals all about us, okay? All about material things, all about me. I want to get shredded for Marbella, so I'll get loads of attention off girls. I want to make this money, so I'll get loads of Ferraris, so I'll get loads of attention off girls, okay? Or it's for the wrong reasons, or it's because I hate myself, or it's because of, you know, whatever reason you want to use. But when we can make everything about something bigger than us, okay? It wasn't about me, okay? It was about helping that family. It was about getting national press to make sure that people got the help that they needed. Ross didn't get the help that he needed. We raised nearly 55 grand in the end for Mind, okay? And because the goal wasn't about me, I didn't need motivation. I didn't even think about it. I never thought, I need to go up today and run another marathon. I just went and did it because it was about something bigger than me. And when we make it about something bigger than us, you know, when you start thinking, do you know what? I need to get my own energy on point, okay? And that starts with me. In order to live a life that we love, we need to love all people, okay? But that starts with loving yourself. Your energy's on point. Guess what your kids are going to grow up like, okay? If you're tired, snappy, mardy, overwhelmed, procrastinating, fear, what do you think your kids are going to grow up like? They don't do what they're told, they copy what they see. We need to be aware of that. Whether you've got kids or not, it could just be your friends and families and your loved ones. But, you know, do you know how many parents are saying, son, you could do anything you want if you put your mind to it, you can achieve anything you want. Yet that same parent is stuck in the same fucking job that they've been in for the last 20 years, getting home every day, moaning, blaming, complaining and justifying about their situation and how they hate their workmates and everyone's negative and toxic people and their boss doesn't value them and all that stuff. So they're kind of doing that polar opposite of what they're preaching. You can achieve anything you want. I'm not doing that. You know, so, you know, we have to get a handle on this to move forward, okay? Again, like I said, people staying in unhappy relationships for the wrong reasons because they don't want to cause harm. Okay, so some more practical action steps. I want you to write down. If you achieve everything that you said in that 90 days, or 12 months, 3, 4, 5 years, whatever your goal is, if you lose the weight you want to lose, build the muscle you want to lose. Want to lose? Gain? Don't know anyone wants to lose muscle, but we shall continue. Make the money you want to make, okay? Improve your energy, improve your life, have a mission, create focus, create drive, become motivated, confident, believe in yourself, become an action taker, not a muppet who just goes through life reacting to whatever pops up in front of them, putting out fires. Who else will that impact? Write that down, write these people down. If you can start bringing the best version of you to this world, financially, spiritually, emotionally, healthy, who else does that impact, okay? I tell you right now, it impacts everyone in your life. And you will never have to worry about negative people ever again, because you will be an absolute beacon for positivity. You will become the lighthouse, not the tugboat. The right people will gravitate towards you and the wrong people will just disappear, okay? Back to their excuses, back to their blame, back to their justification, okay? Back to their peer group. This is what a peer group is. I don't know how connected you guys here. Is this a group of people or individuals or?
Individuals.
Individuals. So if you're individuals, I suggest you have a look at your peer group. And if you haven't got one already, seek one out. £1,500 a month I pay to be in that business mentorship. Okay, and we meet up once a month, that's it. And I get to talk for around about 30 minutes, that's it, okay? Why is that so valuable? Because I have to continually modify my behaviour in order to remain part of that group. Each month I have to commit to my sales figures, okay? Each month I have to commit to filling in my planner every day. Each month I have to commit to being accountable. And you would not believe how many people come in, pay that amount of money, and then fuck off after 1 month. Nearly went wrong. Because they can't handle it. So what do? They go back to their old peer group. Back to the blamers, back to the, oh, it's different for me. It's different for me, I'm too busy. It was all right, but I just got really overwhelmed, so I couldn't continue it anymore, okay? So peer groups are massively important, okay? It's a group of people that you either modify your behavior continually to remain part of, or you end up leaving because it gets too tough, okay? So another practical action step is stop feeding your fears. Stop watching the news. Sort your screen time out, okay? Move away from negative people, move towards positive people. You can't get rid of them, okay? But start feeding yourself courage. I hate it, do you know, because so much of my plan is based around Facebook, okay? Because I do Facebook Lives and we've got a private client group, 217 people. It's the most epic space on this earth. Every day people are posting their results, posting motivations. I turn up every day and it's just on fire, okay? Because that's feeding them courage. It's feeding them strength. It's leading from the front. And that is so, so, so powerful. So make sure you're around those types of people, okay? And we need to make sure, again, what we committed to at the start, focus your attention on your intention. So whatever it is you intend to do, make sure that's where our attention is. And remind yourself every day, because where attention goes, energy flows and results show, okay? Most people keep expecting the results they wanted with the work they didn't do. And then when they don't do the work because of fear and procrastination, it becomes somebody else's fault. So, other positive action steps. I absolutely love this. I actually worked, you know, most things in personal development or trading or motivation. It makes me laugh when people say, oh, he's ripping off my content in. He's copying what I did, okay? Almost everything that every single person has done in the world is a rehashed version of what somebody else has already done. I'm sure some PTs think they invented broccoli, sweet potato and chicken because some other PT put that on a diet, so he's ripping him off, okay? Again, I struggle with this because I'm very similar to my mentor, and I actually said to him at one point, I said, Paul, I feel like besides talking with a Geordie accent, I'm just kind of ripping off all your stuff and I'm just a bit too Paul Moore. And he was like, why would you not be? You listen to me every day for an hour. I'm a coach, okay? I'm your mentor. You know, why would you not be like me? It's almost like saying what I'm delivering is wrong, and you know, or it'd be like me, you know, I'm going to teach you how to teach someone else to bench press, but then you can't show them how to bench press like that because that's my way of bench pressing. It's where a lot of people live, right? So this one I did actually make up myself. So if we were to commit today, see where we're at with the slides. If we were to commit today to 60 minutes of personal development for ourselves, okay? Audiobooks, learning how to trade, going to the gym. Could actually do all three of them at the same time, okay? You could be learning how to trade, listening to an audiobook, whilst in the gym, not watching Love Island, okay? But if we committed to that for 60 minutes, or a 60-minute morning walk whilst doing it, you don't even have to go to the gym if you don't like going to a gym. Okay? One of the key reasons people fail with motivation is they try to do things that they hate to get what they want. If you don't like going to a gym, don't go to a gym. Go mountain biking, go swimming, go for a walk, go for a run, hula hoop in your lounge, whatever it needs to do, okay? But don't do something you don't like in order to try and get a result, because it won't last very long. So if we get up 2 hours earlier every day, that's 14 hours per week. I made this up myself, by the way, very proud. That's 720 hours in a year, which is 30 days, 1 month. If we get up 2 hours earlier per day, or go to bed 2 hours later, dependent on what works for you, or have 2 hours focused me time, focused action time, personal development, fitness training, nutrition, mindset, business, whatever it is, you actually get a 13-month year, okay? And yet we still hear things like, I can't do that, Lee, I'm just not a morning person. What a crock of crap, okay? There aren't morning people and not morning people. There's people that have a solid evening routine, stop watching telly, turn their phone off at 8 o'clock, have an elite level of self-care, hydration, nutrition, training, and look after themselves and get to bed early. And there's people that eat shit, don't drink enough water, never exercise, and watch box sets until 12 o'clock every night. Not getting their kids' stuff ready for school, waking up reactive, and then coming out with, oh, I'm just not a morning person, me. You know, it's not true, okay? Next action step that we're gonna go to. But guys, think about that. What, 2 hours per day, and you get a 13-month year. It's quite a good name for a book, that. Okay, so going back to the fear, this can be a game-changing reframe for anything in your life. Many people live in a what-if mindset. What if she says no? What if the trade fails? What if people laugh at me? What if I get mocked? What if I get judged? What if I have the awkward conversation and it's not the outcome I wanted? What if people don't like me? Okay? If we can switch this to even if she says no, well, at least I built my confidence a bit more. Even if the trade failed, what did I learn? Even if I ended up eating a pizza on Saturday, what did I learn? Okay, we can swap anything from a what if will be fear to an even if, what lesson did we learn? So even if the worst thing happens, what did I learn? Okay, and I'm going to finish on this. The only thing that I'm afraid of, guys, apart from being judged and hurting others, is getting to my grave and having to say one phrase: if only I had. Imagine getting into your 60s and me talking to Logan and saying, oh son, you know, if only I'd have taken that opportunity, I could have been so much more in life. If only I'd have done this, you know, if only I'd have taken care of my health, I might have actually lived a bit longer to be a dad, okay? If only is not a phrase that I ever want to use, and that is my biggest fear, okay? Going through life with regret and saying, if only I had taken this action, taken that step, done what the fuck I said I would, and moved forward, but I didn't, because I used fear as an excuse. Fear that doesn't exist, fear that's in my imagination, okay? It's just discomfort, and the only way we build it is to go through it. Fill the mind with inspiration, okay? Surround yourself with courageous people. Have the courage to take action today. Have the courage to create your own energy and build an electrifying life that inspires you, okay? Do you know why most people aren't morning people and they struggle to get out of bed? Because they've got fucking average goals, that's why. Okay? Things that don't inspire them. Things that don't make them want to get out of bed. Have a mission. It's very sexist now, but it's an old phrase. Man needs a mission. Women need a mission. We all need a mission. If we're not focused on what we want, we'll be focused on how we feel. Okay? And this is coming from a man who, remember, once tried to take his own life. You only have one life. Live it. Be the first man / woman / significant other in. And be an example, not a warning. Feel the fear and do it anyway. And remember, in life, action is always the only answer. And talk about it too. Stop bottling things up. If you can talk about it, you can fix it. I want to finish on one final thing as well from a man who had given up at one point, okay? Never, ever, ever give up. Every single black belt in this world is just a white belt that never gave up. My name's Lee Freeman. Thank you for valuing yourself high enough to be here. Thanks for listening.
Lee, that was amazing, but there was one thing you didn't tell people.
Oh, what's that?